Of course you are great. Cam, you gonna start playing my my audio, the link, the intro, or not yet?
Did you send it to me?
I did.
All right, send it to me again. I can definitely play it in the background.
Can I send it to your device?
You need to send it through LinkedIn, through whatever. Okay. Not text, ideally.
Not text. Okay.
Something I can grab from the computer.
All right. I got to figure out how to do that then. Okay. See, it's in Dropbox. So will you be able to? Okay. All right. I'll have to figure it out.
So I just want to welcome everybody that's tuning in. I see somebody's checking in on LinkedIn Live right now. Hopefully Sean Lashley's got the links and the 10,000 cards going. One thing that's really cool, Sean Lashley, 10K cards. Mr. Sean Lashley is will win a digital card themselves. So we thank Sean Lashley for being a partner with us. We'll send out some links right now how you can learn about 10K cards. We really appreciate him as a partner. Stay with us. We are live at the top of the hour. Love you for joining us. We'll get started officially at 2. Hang with us. Hey, Paula, let me know, guys, make sure you're letting us all know where you're checking in from. Oscar, thanks for checking in. Hey, Diane Light, Spiro, Mama's in the house.
Mama is in the house. That's great. Good to have you all. It's going to be an incredible day, incredible event. Cameron, I sent that link. I don't know if you're going to have a chance, but I sent that link to your LinkedIn.
Beautiful. So I just want to say this while folks are checking in on the live stream. Let us know where you're checking in from. I am really excited for the conversation today. Why grow your network? Advertising marketing versus relationship marketing. We're going to get into it with our amazing team, Lorraine Duncan, Tyler Smith, Linda Ray, Joanna Pawlowska. Listen, this is going to be an amazing conversation.
It's going to be epic.
Liking, make sure you're sharing, make sure your network is coming in. Paula is checking in from New York City. Let's go, everybody. Let's go. Steve, you got some shout outs you want to go off on?
Yeah, let me see if I can figure out how to see that there, sir. How do I see that? Do I need to be in the comments section, I guess? Okay, cool. So we got Paula's back visiting us. Good to see you, Paula. Looks like you're a regular on the show. Luann DePrado. Luann and I are going to be hosting on the 20th. At 8 a.m. Don't miss it. We're going to be doing a blowout visitor day, Danbury chapter meeting. I'm going to be talking about LinkedIn. So welcome, Luann. Good to see you. Somebody labeled the Dream Team. Not sure who that is. Do you know who that is, Cameron?
I'm going to check it out on LinkedIn. Give me a second to get over there.
Yeah. I think my man Dave Speranza might be in the house because he just sent me a LinkedIn message, but not sure. Oh yeah, it's got to be Dave Speranza because nobody else does Big Steve like Dave Speranza does Big Steve. So good to have you on the show. There it is. See that? That's only Dave Speranza. Hey, Chris Dutra, what's going on, sir? Again, another regular here. Appreciate you. Yeah. Big shout out, like Cameron said, big shout out to Mr. Sean Lashley, who's becoming one of our sponsors of the show, and we're gonna be giving away. He'll be giving away one of the digital cards. So I know Cameron will be talking more about that. Also, each of our panelists are going to get a free digital card too, so it's pretty cool. He's great value to everybody. So check out 10kcards.com or Sean Lashley on LinkedIn. Tremendous guy. Cool. And looks like okay, absolutely, brother. Okay, thanks. I don't know why, Big Dave, you're not showing up as your name here, but good to have you. It's good seeing you the other day. And of course, I know you, Mr. Oscar Bell. Got a shout out by Cameron here. So. It's going to be a great show. Looking forward to it. This is going to be amazing. For those of you guys who are waiting on my Fired Up Friday video, I have it produced. I have to publish it. So looking forward to that. It's going to be a great one. But the show is going to be amazing. Of course, having Cameron running the helm here is always appreciative. So always appreciate what you do, Mr. Cameron. Make sure you're checking out Cameron at 11 a.m. He has a live show he does every day, weekdays. I checked out some of it today. It was awesome with Denise. So go make sure you subscribe to his YouTube channel. You can also subscribe to my YouTube channel at Master Connector. That's my channel on YouTube. So please go ahead and subscribe. I'm going to start putting a bunch of content in there and get better about that. Everyone's after me on doing that, so I plan on doing that as well.
We are official. It's top of the hour. Top of the hour. Here we go. Here we go. I'm going to pull the banner off. Here we go. We have our all-star panel here. I'm going to kill the music. And Steve, if you'll introduce things, I'll try to download the audio in the background. I got to be on mute while I'm doing this, so I'm not making crazy noise. So you can go ahead and start things off, and you can kind of keep things going. Let me see if I can do some little bit of download. Keep going, and then I'll come back and I'll do some introductions.
Well, hey, folks, it's Steve Spiro, the Master Connector. Cameron and I really appreciate you tuning in. Welcome to our show each week on Fridays at 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We come at you with an engaging content on how you can also be a master connector. As a shy, introverted kid from the Bronx to someone who has a massive network and can talk to just about anyone, there definitely has been some things, lots of great lessons I've learned along the way, like most of us now. And it's been a winding road from starting an advertising company out of college to martial arts studio to technology sales and now consulting and mentoring and self-development. Your self-development really has been a crucial piece for me. And I've learned to adapt and keep growing like a lot of us have, right? So, and I love sharing what I've learned. So please make sure to check out my Fired Up Friday Master Connector tip videos that I post every Friday. Thanks to my friend Sean Lashley. I mentioned him, but 10,000 cards. I have a digital card that catalogs all 60 plus weeks in one place. Check them out. Please DM me and I'll send you the digital card if you like. During this Master Connection series, each week, our goal is to gather subject matter experts to impart their wisdom on us all, including Cameron and I, of course. We are always learning, so you got to keep growing. So sometimes technology is a little funny, and Cameron and I are still making sure we get this right. So just bear with us as we continue to learn and be great through this whole process. But I'm blessed to have my co-host, Cameron Toth here, founder of Toth Event Staffing, and now the host of Biz Dev Live weekdays at 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, and also Biz Dev Live networking on Tuesdays at 12 noon. Don't miss either. They're awesome. So I know, Cameron, you're gonna bring up introduce the panelists today. It's gonna be an awesome time. Looking forward to it. Thanks for all you do, Cameron, and I'll turn it back to you, sir.
Thank you very much for that. I think this audio is going to work. Hopefully this comes through. Let us know in the comments if you can hear this.
Fire up your Friday.
Fired Up Friday
With Steve Spiro, the Master Connector.
I am Steve Spiro, the Master Connector.
Over the next hour of this Master Connection series, we will take a deep dive into the different ways to connect and network effectively.
See us and hear us right now. So LinkedIn, we are on here. We're getting ready.
Hear from experts along with Steve Spiro, who went from being shy and introverted to the Master Connector.
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. This has been a Master Connections series.
There you go.
There it is. There it is. So we made it work. We made it work. All right.
Awesome.
Let me see if I can. I want to pull up a graphic so we can make sure that we.
Shout out to Elisa, Bruno. And let's see who else. Austin from overseas. Way to go! Good to have you again, Austin. Happy New Year to you, sir. Yep, absolutely. We're glad to be back.
Well, shout out Seth Greenwald from my Toastmasters group. Thanks for being here. Paula, Lisa, Chris, Austin, Chris Janewski, Nancy.
Chris the man.
Yeah, we got a lot of folks in here. All right, so I think I got this thing ready to go.
Hello, Nancy from Long Island. Long Island.
All right. Our guests today, I'm going to bring them up onto the platform here one at a time. We have Mr. Tyler Smith.
Hey, everybody.
As a passionate relationship-based fiduciary, Tyler sits side by side with small business owners across all phases of the business life cycle, maximizing wealth and reducing financial worries, allowing his clients to enjoy the things most important to them in life. Connect with him on LinkedIn. Thank you for being on the show, Tyler Smith. I'm going to introduce Lorraine Duncan. She helps her clients become visible by marketing on social media. We're talking about her year. It's been the busiest year ever for her, so you definitely want to connect with her. I'm going to introduce Linda Ray. We help business owners find financing solutions that will help them either survive and thrive beyond COVID. Aurora Consulting.biz. Check her out. And the amazing Joanna. Now, tell me before I mess up the last name, just so I'm clear. Joanna, tell me the last name.
Sure, it's Pawlowska.
Pawlowska, Joanna Pawlowska. She works with Maximum Security, and she is the social media queen behind the scenes. You want to connect with her. She's doing it up for her company, working in the day-to-day, making sure that they are promoting and training and making all the things happen behind the scenes with Maximum Security. Thank you to our amazing panel. I want to give just a little bit of an opportunity. Steve, did I lose Steve? Yes. All right, Steve, why don't you jump this off and sort of talk about a little bit for each person, give everybody a little bit of intro time to introduce themselves a bit and start this conversation on marketing, advertising, right? Marketing, advertising versus relationship marketing.
Yeah, I mean, well, my background, obviously, some may know I started my first company out of college in advertising. So I did the advertising route for many years, and of course, there's real value to advertising and marketing, of course, right? But what's great about social media and what's great about networking and all the things that we're about is it in a sense you can really grow your business utilizing some great platforms, typically for free or for barely shoestring budget. But I think in some ways maybe even more effective, right? Because people love to do business with people they know, like, and trust. So growing your network, growing your exposure is a great way. Utilizing this platform, LinkedIn or YouTube or whatever platform you do, it's a great way to grow your business. So I know we have some great panelists to basically share some more on this. I don't want to take the stage on all this, but I'll turn it back to you, Cam.
Yeah, so let's go around. Who wants to jump in first? And one thing that'll help me for my panelists as I highlight the person that's speaking, if you want to jump in next, use that private chat in the background. Just let me know you want to go next, and that way I'll know who to go to next. So who wants to jump in first on this topic? Not all at once.
I'll go.
Go ahead, Linda. Go ahead. Rock it out.
Wait, what are we talking about again? Was there a question? Oh my God, I totally messed up already. Well, anyway, hello everyone. My name is Linda Ray. My company is Aurora Consulting. We are located in Roxbury, Connecticut. I am absolutely honored to be here with my esteemed panelists and Sean Lashley. I love saying your name, Lashley. And we've become disaster financing experts by mistake. My background is 35 years in insurance. I was 4. Let's just make sure we do the math properly. And I started a business with my partner for business financing, and that shifted to disaster financing so we can help businesses get the money they're entitled to based on the new law that has been passed.
Love it. All right. So what we're talking about is, what's your preference, and what's worked for your business, right? So this idea of advertising marketing versus relationship marketing. What's working?
We're videos. We're doing videos. We hit on the YouTube thing that I was terribly terrified about to do. We started searching Google on FAQs that people were searching for disaster financing and EIDL and PPP, and started doing videos, like 3-minute videos. And it, even though our channel is tiny, it has monetized itself with just delivering information that people are so desperately seeking. And I think that is the key with all of us and what we're doing and our expertise. Video, game changer.
I gotta cycle through. All right, so here we go. We're gonna jump it over to Lorraine. Go ahead, Lorraine.
Hi everyone, Lorraine here, and my business is Biz Gone Social. I'm so stoked to be here. I sort of discovered social media by accident. I was a business coach, and real fastly I grew my business with social media marketing, and I just love doing it because I am a relational person. I love to meet with different people, and I really do think that you get customers and clients and form relationships one person at a time. So I'm definitely on the relationship marketing, I should say.
Beautiful. We're going to throw it over to Joanna. Go ahead. And just before you go, Joanna, I'm just going to remind people, like, share, shout out your city, state, questions, comments. Let's help you out. Let's make some things happen for you. Let's grow this audience. Connect with people in the comments. These are people that are passionate. They're going to support your brand. So this is the place to be. This is the place to find your following. This is the place to get some value from questions. So get those questions into the chats. Get real specific with your business so we can help you. Go ahead, Joanna.
Hi, everyone. I'm Joanna. I'm the Chief Marketing Officer at Maximum Security. We deploy about 300 security guards to all different businesses in Long Island. But I also do take on select clients through my consulting business, which is JP Marketing and Design. So I take a very specific approach when it comes to marketing, whether it's transactional or relational marketing. I think that at the end of the day, you really have to look at the psychology behind it. So, for example, most consumers make their choices based on emotion, and then they justify based on logic. Emotion is really connected to a lot of principles like Sigmund Freud's id, ego, and superego, and then the parent-child relationship entity. So I think that looking at the marketing aspect and not taking psychology into perspective is probably not the best approach, because psychology is really 90% business. So that's kind of how I differentiate.
I love that. All right, so we're going to go to Tyler. Sorry, Tyler, I got you on mute. Go ahead, you're good.
Hey, everyone. It's great to be here. Thank you guys for putting these together. Cameron and Steve, you guys are great. I love what you guys are doing. This is the stuff that I love. So I'm a huge networker. I'm a holistic financial planner. I'm with National Financial Network. We're based out of Manhattan. I'm at our New Haven office here. I hail from Westport, offices here in New Haven. I can kind of relate to Steve's story, about being the shy kid growing up. Not having a lot of confidence, not necessarily considering myself a people person. And, over time, I took that and I turned it into a strength. And that's actually partly kind of why I even wound up in this business to begin with. And now I love it. I'm a huge fan of relationship marketing. It's something that's helped me take my business to a whole other level as far as scale and everything goes. I'm a huge believer in trying to meet new people constantly, connecting out in person, being part of groups, organizations, all that. I like to do business, and put the relationship first. I think that's how you get more, but at least for me in my line of work, and to Steve's point, the whole know, like, and trust thing, it goes a long way. So thank you.
Thank you so much. So I want to just shout out a few people in the comments. I want you to get your questions for my Clubhouse family. Let's go. Sean Lashley in the building, Clubhouse family. Make sure you tell Andre, because I know Andre is in the security profession. So Joanna would be a great person for him to connect with. He was looking for advice on building his business. So he has to tell Andre, get on here. He has to connect with Joanna. She's got the good information for him, the good connections for him. And that's what we're all about here. Master connectors, Steve Spiro, connecting people together. I had Denise Panza on my show. I did not know her before Steve got us connected, and she is somebody that's just killing it on social. You got people here, our expert panel today, so take advantage of the knowledge. I want you all to make sure that you're asking some questions that are particular to your business so that we can help you specifically with your business. Maggie Carey's checking in, Seth Greenwald. Hey, DJ Snap from Clubhouse, Alan Greenwald, who has a paper magazine, which I'm encouraging him to go digital with. Lindy Chapman from Texas, love you. Shout out. Let's hear the questions. Who can we connect you with to better your business? Sean Lashley. We got the Philippines checking in. We got Mary Jones, Helen Pesh, George from Clubhouse. Come on. Let's get it. Share this out. Let's get to your questions so that we can help you. I'm going to set it up. I'm going to launch the first question here, which is for everybody in this room. What has been the place where relationship marketing has sort of move the needle for you, and where automatically where you would see advertising marketing come into play, right? So I use the example, just talking with Joanna previous to us jumping on the show, the relationships with the influencers, people that could really market and rep your brand. Those are relationships, right? If you're doing a clothing brand, but if you need to sell 1 million t-shirts, then you're going to be advertising on Facebook and stuff. I think, there's this organic conversation, which I think should be a part of what we're talking about now. So don't go pay for paid marketing before you figure out how to do organic, because then you're wasting dollars. I think I think I saw some nodding heads there on that. So private chat, tell me who wants to jump in first on this. Steve, do you got a little bit you want to throw in there before I throw it over to the panelists?
I got to unmute there, right? 2020 theme song, right? Yeah, I mean, listen, networking is great. I just need to give a shout out. So, my friend Tyler there, he and I met at the gym, and that's how that connection happened, right? Just a conversation. The guy, if you see him without a shirt on, he's huge. You can probably see it through the screen. But I don't know who broke the ice and started the conversation. This is before COVID, obviously. And we've partnered together on several networking ventures where we've gone networking together. But networking is great. One-on-one connections is great. I think it's huge. I think there's so much you could do with social media. I know Lorraine is a big expert in that field. And I wouldn't have, if it wasn't for networking and face-to-face relationship marketing, and relationship type stuff, all the people on this call, I wouldn't know you all, right? Whether it be through networking, through LinkedIn, whatever it happens to be, or just in case of Tyler meeting him, just living my life. So that's what I have to say. I mean, I'm open to hear other people what they have to say on it as well.
Beautiful. And I know that Linda Ray is going to jump in here. So here we go. Over to Linda Ray, zooming in, off mic. There we go.
Off mic. That helps, right? So, so I've been marketing for about 30 years, social media about 13 or so. I love social media for obvious reasons, and a lot of us have met on social media. Pre-COVID, there was a lot of in-person networking that I also found to be incredibly valuable and helped build my business. The thing is, I think, though, from there, then what? And this is what I think about that. It's building the email list and getting the permission of having people on the email list to keep in touch with the people so they can see what you're doing, even if they're not. So I know sometimes they're not opening the email or they're not responding to the email, and that's okay, because sometimes there are triggers that people will then see something that you're doing, or at least they'll think of you. And I think the email marketing is sort of the umbrella of everything else that's happening quickly and immediate, like good, some quick hits with whatever platform you're on, but keeping it in home and owning that list and keeping in contact with those people, I think, is where it needs to continue strengthening for our marketing efforts and to build the relationships, because that's what it's all about.
Beautiful. I'm going to send it over to Lorraine. Go ahead, Lorraine. Oh, sorry, you're on mute. I got you now. You're good. You're good.
I'll agree with everything that Linda has said, and I'll just bring it to the social media side. I think the biggest, when COVID hit, for instance, the biggest thing that I did was come from a place that I wanted to serve people and help people. And I think then that shaped everything with my social media marketing. So, there's a lot of people out there that will go on LinkedIn and they'll go on Facebook and will go on Instagram and they'll start selling right away. Well, that's not building a relationship. So if there's one thing that I want to say this because it's been my pet peeve for about 2 months now, I've been really on it. I want to get to know you. And so does the people that you're connecting with. Don't sell right away.
Love that. All right. And then we do have a question from the audience. I'm loving this. So as I flip through buttons here. All right. I'm going to bring back the panel here. So we have a question from Mary Jones. What is the best social media network to use for health coaching? Who wants to take that one?
I can take it, Cam. Listen, health coaching is absolutely lifestyle. So I would recommend, it depends on your audience, but more than likely it's probably a good Facebook and Instagram type of application. But if your target is busy business owners, so you really figure out who your target is. If it's successful business owners that have limited time and you're going to market to them, then LinkedIn could be a really good place to go as well. But typically in the health field, it's more social oriented, it's more lifestyle oriented. So I would go more at Facebook and Instagram, in my opinion. But don't forget that you could use LinkedIn. And of course, if you're going younger audience, you go the TikTok route as well.
I love that. Yeah, I think TikTok, especially for market research on how to create your media right now, whether that's the platform you're most comfortable with or not, market research, you go on there, look at what other health coaches are doing, and you can really get some great ideas there. I know in terms of the queue here, Joanna, I know you want to jump in. Go ahead.
Sure. So to piggyback off of the ladies' statements before, don't disregard the network that you already have, right? So like for the company that I represent, Maximum Security, we're really in the business of building trust, right? And plus our contracts are high value contracts. So it's not like you're buying, a pair of socks. So what we've done is we've utilized our network with regards to who we already know, the people that have the trust with the people that we're trying to get to help us push the message across. For social media specifically, we've been utilizing that for brand awareness to let people know about our new products and services. But really our immediate network, the people that we already have trust with, we're utilizing to transfer the trust to the new people. The way it kind of becomes a warmer approach. And then we honing those people in as well.
I love that. Because it's all about the connections, right? Whether you're doing it on a large scale, small scale, phone call. I loved Aviva's comment. Thanks for joining us, Aviva. I love email marketing, but find follow up with text and phone as well as a must. And that goes back to, what Linda Ray was saying, Lorraine was saying, this email marketing thing. One of the things, like if the social networks go down tomorrow, do you have somebody's phone number? Do you have somebody's email? These are the direct links right into somebody. And that's money in your pocket kind of advice that I love. Did anyone want to chime in just to kind of give a full answer for Mary Jones on health coach marketing? Go ahead, Joanna. Go ahead.
Yeah, so to piggyback off of some of the other comments, it really depends who you're trying to go after. For me, I always take a broader approach and then kind of test out and see what works the best. And then also test out the messaging, because certain messages are going to resonate differently with certain audiences, but it really does depend on your target market. If you'd like, we could have a side conversation to further it, but I would probably take that approach. Cast a broad net, see what ticks, and then tweak it until you get the response that you're looking for.
I love that. And thank you, Helen, for tagging somebody else that she wants to come into this conversation. Really appreciate you on that. Mary Jones, I want you to respond in the comments. Let us know if we helped you, if there's a follow-up question there that we can help with. Let's really, make sure that we got some solutions for you that you feel like are going to be winners for you and that you can move forward with. Elisa has a question as well. I'm going to throw that up on the screen for all my panelists to take a look at while Tyler jumps into this conversation as well.
About what can move the needle, the most, especially for me, at least, throughout this whole year, it's been crazy. I've always been super heavy on the relationship marketing side. So I've always been out there in person, meeting people, going places, doing things. To Steve's point, we met at the gym. I have a big habit of doing that, just making conversation anywhere I am. I try to meet at least 3 new people a day. And I know some others probably have similar goals like that, but when you can't do that, you have to harness and use what's available. And there's a lot of different things that you can do in terms of marketing yourself effectively. But as everyone else pointed out, you have to figure out, how do I want to be viewed out in the marketplace? What perception do I want to give off to the people that I'm attempting to do business with? Or not even necessarily do business with, but who am I looking to meet and why? And where are those people going to be hanging out? The nice thing about social media is that you can, a lot of times, especially with LinkedIn, you can easily target that and utilize that. You can also utilize that, Instagram, YouTube, any of the others to consistently keep your face out there in front of your marketplace and help educate, give them little tidbits, be around and be present so that people know you're out there. Because if people don't see you and you don't have that visibility, they don't know you're in business, right? So, that's a huge component. But, the other thing, when we get back to like transactional versus relationship marketing, with transactional marketing, you're selling at people. And I view that as, you have customers in transactional marketing, and then in relationship marketing, you have clients. So it depends on what you want to do. But for a lot of people probably, on this call, a lot of us are looking for clients, and a lot of us are looking for relationship and are looking to have long-term, and also looking for additional introductions and to scale. And that doesn't happen with transactional, advertising-based marketing. Now, it could be a part, but I think for, a lot of the service-focused folks also, you can't beat the good old relationship marketing. But it was critical for me. If I didn't have that skill this year, I don't know, I'd probably be in a very different spot instead of having the best year I've ever had.
Beautiful. All right. I'm going to jump over to Lorraine. All right, Lorraine, I want you to answer that email question. I'm going to pull it up. I'm trying to find it. We got the comments going crazy. Thank you, everybody, for sharing this out. We got a lot of people watching and really appreciate everybody. So Elisa Booney-Milde asks, how does an effective email list get built? We send a newsletter and people may opt out. So we have switched it up to have people opt in. And Elisa, I would love just a little bit of clarification on exactly how you're doing that, so we can really be real specific. But I know Lorraine can talk to how the email list gets built for sure.
So yeah, hopefully I'd be curious to know what they're opting into. So I have a whole system when it comes to, email marketing and building my list. I do that daily, and mainly on my website, I have an opt-in form to get a free, very valuable piece of content. So that's one way I grow my list. So when people come to my website, a pop-up comes up, they fill it out, and they get a piece of valuable content, and then warm autoresponders go out. So that's one way. The other way is I do a lot of speaking engagements, and I'm online all the time, so I'm always collecting emails. The big thing with social media and email put in together is that if you're just posting on social media and you're not collecting names, you're sort of failing a little bit at so your marketing plan. So you want to make sure you put.
I want to just chime in on that because I think there's a lot of heads nodding on this. You need to build your list outside of social. I've heard so many horror stories about people's accounts being shut down. You don't have control of these things. So you need to make sure you're creating that system outside of social to take advantage of social. I think that's really, really important point that you highlighted, Lauren.
Yeah, and just one thing I want to say is that remember, when you're on social media, you be of service. How can I serve my audience? So you're always putting out valuable content. And so when people have an opportunity to actually, if they have the opportunity to sign up for your list to get your tips or whatever you're giving, they already know you and they already know you're going to give valuable content. So a lot of people, don't hesitate when it comes to giving their name because they just don't want to get spammed. So that's a little thing of how I grew my list. And I also grew
Lisa followed up with this monthly consumer touch email through our database. Does that, I'm not sure if I understand that. Do you understand that?
Monthly consumer touch. Is that a newsletter that you're sending out?
I'm assuming it's a newsletter. So she's just got an opt-in for the newsletter. It is built outside of social and added to every day. So I would say just keep putting more comments in, Elisa, and we'll get feedback. And I think the power of the community and the chat too will get stuff. I know there's a lot of questions, so I want to keep cycling through. And next in the queue is Joanna. Go ahead, Joanna.
To add to the conversation, another thing that I'm really big at is just providing relevant content. Don't scream at people, teach them things. When you teach them things, you're kind of helping yourself to become an industry expert. And when you start to become an industry expert and you continue to put out relevant information, that's how kind of you start to build the trust. So people are more inclined to join your newsletter or to join your mailing list. And it's just like an extra way to help get that audience funneled into your bucket.
That's amazing. All right. So I'm going to open up this just a quick kind of thing. Maybe we can kind of just go a little round robin because I think everybody's going to have a little bit of a different take on how they manage their screen time. I think this is a really important question for mental health and fiscal wealth. How do you stay active on LinkedIn, respond with a timely response, but also reduce overall screen time? I don't necessarily have to be on, I don't have the time to be on LinkedIn all day. There's still work to be done. So I just would love to get like a really short response because I know there's a lot of different ways to handle this. Can we just kind of go around the room starting with Tyler and we'll finish up with Steve? Go ahead, Tyler.
So I can relate to Chris. It's, it's something that I definitely deal with, and I'm sure a lot of other people do too. We're all busy working on our businesses or whatever we do for a living. How do you manage all that? And, for me, it has to be in my schedule, time blocking, time management. You have to make the time for it. You can't let it control you, and specifically with the LinkedIn, you should be trying to pick times to post things regularly so that you can still be out there and be present and viewable and responding to messages that you get and working on building all those relationships, right? But you can't let it detract from you going out and doing the day-to-day of your business because LinkedIn, for a lot of people, probably is not 90% of their business. It's one portion of it. So you have to try and balance, building your brand, being present, being perceived how you'd like to be perceived, without letting it detract and consume and take away from the actual revenue generation and building your business itself. But then with all other social media, you should time block that as well, because that can be consuming and take away from productivity. I had to do it myself, with all this political stuff going on over the past, months, really, years. I created a new role myself. I just put it in place effective yesterday, where between the hours of 9 and 6, I will not be on social media, period, outside of LinkedIn to check in for business stuff. And I won't watch any news. I'll get 30 minutes around my lunch break, and that's it. So you can do things like that.
All right. That was a great answer. It was a long answer. So I want to make sure we get around the room and we get to some more questions. All right. I think you hit on a lot of stuff. Thank you, Tyler. Let's try to keep this to like about 20 seconds so everybody gets a chance to address Chris Januski's question, and we'll move on to the next because I got a lot of queued up questions here. Go ahead, Lorraine. Well, on mute. There we go. I got you. You're good.
I get the bulk of my clients through LinkedIn. So that's the social media platform that I spend the most time on. However, guess how much time I spend on it? 13 minutes a day. And I go on in the morning, and I don't go on weekends. Occasionally a Sunday night if I'm watching football. But other than that, 13 minutes, I have a system. I get exactly what needs to be done right away. And then I'm on to working on clients and other things that I have to do for my business.
Yeah, that reminds me of that egg timer method. I forget the name of it, but you put that egg timer on and it's just focused, you get it done and you move on. And I love that. Go ahead, Linda.
I think one of the strategies you could employ that not only with time blocking, but also be strategic with how you're communicating with whom. So if you have strategic alliances or strategic partners, plan the week before how many per week you may want to communicate with, even if it's just commenting on one of their posts, but channeling with the people that you really want to connect with on a regular basis.
Yeah, I love that. Go ahead, Joanna.
For me, really, the biggest asset right now is technology. I feel that technology can really help us to make things more efficient. So simply by utilizing posting platforms like, for example, Hootsuite, that can help you to decrease the amount of time you have to go in and out of each platform. But then you can also see all the conversations in one place and reply. So that's a big one. And then in addition to that, I think authenticity, because if you're authentic in what you post, for example, on Indeed, by nature, you're going to become more memorable to that person. The more memorable you become, the less times you have to keep putting your message in front of them. They'll remember you. So those are the two tips that I would definitely suggest for this portion.
Beautiful. Go ahead, Steve.
Yeah, no, this is a great and a lot of great comments so far already. So, in terms of the screen time, I was talking to my wife about this. I need to get one of those blue glasses, right? The Zoom glasses, because at the end of the day, my brain, but it's not just social media, it's obviously being on the screen. So yeah, for sure. But for me, what I do is, my messages back are the only time for the most part throughout the day, I'm using messages back and sending messages. I get a little notice. So it's probably if you add it up, it's probably no more than 3 or 4 or 5 minutes a day on answering a quick message or back and forth. And that's it. I don't go on to do, massive LinkedIn social media stuff. And my focus is only pretty much LinkedIn. So I'm only doing it, once in a while, going on, maybe connecting with some people, searching, going through the feed. I might scroll through the feed here and there, but it's really random. But that it's just answering messages and then moving on with your day.
All right, so I got a really big question from Paul, a lot of words in here. I'm taking marketing classes now, trying to branch out. I just received a certificate in market research and consumer behavior. I'm in hospitality, but I've been unemployed because of COVID. I'm also applying to sales and recruiting jobs, but my experience in those fields were a while ago, and I'm getting rejection emails. It's frustrating. So I think this speaks to two kind of separate pieces. She's focused on gaining new skills during this time, which I think is really important, right? What you do now is going to lead into how your business and how your personal brand is going to perform after COVID. And she's also dealing with the issue of trying to be employed currently and how to go about that. So who wants to jump into sort of this personal brand? I'm an employee. I need to bring my talents to an employer to set myself up best for that. Who wants to tackle that? Go ahead, Joanna.
Sure. So as someone who actually went through a career transition during COVID, once again, it all goes back to your network. If you think about it, recruiters, they get so many messages all the time. So if you're just sending the resume over, you're just a piece of paper. But you can now, since Zoom is, virtual networking is more relevant now, you can jump on a lot of Zooms to then create a more personal network with someone like a recruiter or a potential employer. There are many ways to do this. There are chambers of commerce in each town. They always do Zooms. And the great thing is that specifically because of COVID, a lot of these Zooms are free of charge. So you don't even have to pay anything. It allows you to showcase yourself, the kind of personality and person behind the resume, and then you build a more personal relationship, which kind of helps you to get that interview and seal the deal.
I love that. So, Paula, what I want you to do is, if there's something more specific that we can follow up with, put that into the comments so that we can really target and help you. But I think that was really great advice. I know the story time after time after time after time is, you bring one level of resume and sort of personal brand when you don't come in with a big social following, a lot of connections. You bring a whole nother level of appeal when you come in and you have a whole bunch of connections and you have a whole bunch of following, whether you're somebody that's applying for a bartending job or you're going for an acting job. If you have a big network, your net worth is bigger and people are attracted to that, period. And I think that's really, really important. Go ahead, Steve.
Yeah, I mean, you just actually, just as I was typing it, you actually said it. So grow your big network, right? That's what the topic of this particular topic is about. And it's so important. I think some of the other panelists mentioned it, to be authentic, to be you, to add value, to be authentic, and to make sure that you're adding value by presenting content on a regular basis. It's the law of attraction. You want to put out good and you're going to get good back. You want to make sure that you're all, you're always, seeing who you can connect with and bring value to, right? So to me, it's a lifestyle. It's not just a thing that you do once in a while. You need to live it, right? I don't know if you guys remember the movie Glenn Rossi, and there was a great line in it. It was ABC, which is always be closing. I changed that to ABN, always be networking, and nowadays it's back to ABC, which is always be connecting. But you just got to make it part of your life. You always want to build your network, and however you are, just doing it all the time. Networking meetings, every time I go to a networking meeting, I'm seeing who I don't know. I'm connecting with them. I'm finding them on LinkedIn. I'm looking to go on Zoom with them, to do a Zoom meeting, whatever, because you just don't know. You never know, right? I know that Denise said that today on Cameron's show. You just don't know. So that's my advice. Grow your big network, but just being open, being a giver, and you will get eventually.
Yeah, be a go-giver. Be a go-giver, right? That's the big.
Great book, by the way.
Yeah. So, Chris, you got this comment in here. We use Infusionsoft and run campaigns to email and send messages to our clients and prospects. So I want to know if that's working, if there's something that we can provide in terms of advice to help those campaigns work better. And while we're on that thing, because I know a lot of people are using LinkedIn, they're using Facebook, they're using Instagram, they might be on Clubhouse right now. But you want to be in people's email, you want to be connecting, you want to be selling. So what is the way that folks can most effectively move from the social media posts to actually creating these off social network connections and really get the newsletter piece going for folks? I want somebody to jump in on that. If you'll raise a hand, I'll call on you and put you up front and center stage. Who wants to go on that? Not all at once, guys. Go ahead, Steve.
Yeah, I'm the guy that never likes the awkward silence, so I'll just raise my hand just to raise my hand. I'm not doing the newsletter thing, but I will say this: I believe strongly in getting the connection, making the connection outside of LinkedIn. And the best way that I know how to is a few ways, a few techniques. Those who know me, I preach this song a lot, but that is. Number one, put out good content. When you get comments, you can connect with that person. And then what I like to do is have an offline conversation, a phone call or Zoom. And when you're doing that, you're actually getting their contact information. In a sense, they're opting in to want to communicate with you, to create a relationship with you, right? When somebody new connects with me, I am always, bar none, no exception, I'm always suggesting, unless we know each other already, to suggest that we get on Zoom or on call to connect with each other. I'll reach out and wish a happy anniversary, work anniversary, or congrats on your job change. When I get a response, hey, let's catch up. Let's jump on a phone call. So to me, it's using the platform, connecting with people, and then you get to connect outside, and now you're creating a database through that way. And again, I'm not using the newsletter thing, but I definitely believe that you have to take it outside of the platform for sure.
Yeah, I mean, me and Steve connected. And I think he does a great job of connecting with people offline through phone calls. He gets it, whether it's in your address book or it's through the email marketing program. It's the same thing. I know Linda's biting at the chip to go. I'm going to put her center stage. Go ahead, Linda.
Oh, center stage. Oh my gosh. So I just wanted to contribute this as someone who transitioned 3 years ago and started another business. To the psychology of trying something new and the wait time between something hitting and the success of your efforts. It could take a while, but starting out with the intention of solving a problem or addressing the pain points your customer experiences is a way I think that you can get the content piece under control, if you will. Like Maggie is saying, content is king, consistency is queen. It's overwhelming to have where to start and then what to do with where to go and all of those components. So I think there has to be a patience element when you're beginning to branch out with a greater strategy of your marketing. So just wanted to put that out there because that we've been going through that for 3 years, and only in the last 2 months have we seen some success with some of the things we've been trying to get out there to present value.
I love that. And let me say this for Paula, I know a bunch of people offered to help. So that's the beauty of being vulnerable in these settings, reaching out for help, giving your permission to reach out for mentors. That's the value of the network and taking things offline. If you just hit the connect button and there's another connection, it's not necessarily going to help you. But if you're telling your story and you're getting it out there and asking for that assistance and that guidance, there's so many people willing to help. And on that point, I know J.R. Henry, I'm trying to look for the link. J.R., if you want, post it again. I was trying to find it, but he wanted a review on his website and get some feedback. So I don't want to put the website up on this. Oh, here it is. So I don't want to bring the screen share because it gets a little complicated, but check out my folks in the comments, check out his website, give them some feedback. This is a great place. You got a website, you want some feedback, you got some eyeballs. We're going to take it from the stance of what we could do better and give some honest feedback to JR and help him out with his website so his marketing can be better. I love that. All right. Joanna, I think you wanted to jump in, yeah?
Yeah, sure. So this is a great conversation, by the way. I feel really inspired by my fellow panelists. To add another element, we continue to talk about content and relevant content, but maybe it's important to define what that could be for an audience, right? So for me, I offer a very unique approach because I do have a lot of training and experience both in design, which is the qualitative, as well as the messaging, which is the marketing. So I think that considering the way in which you actually deliver that message, so the layout, for example, of an email marketing news piece, or the layout, for example, of a newsletter or a social post, I think it's really important. And then also, in addition to that, the content has to be creative. So people typically like to know who they do business with. For me, this has been an interesting kind of like a test, so to say. I did just launch the first newsletter for this firm that I'm representing, Maximum Security. And we kind of focused a lot on who the owners are, because when you're trying to build trust with someone, it's important for your audience to know who that someone is. And we've had a really great response. In addition to that, if you mail it out of Constant Contact, you can also share that newsletter to your social platforms. So you could kind of piggyback and see what works.
I love that. And we're getting some great advice. Maggie Carey is another social media professional, and she's got some real gems she's dropping in the comments. I really appreciate you, Maggie Carey, for doing this. So I think, we're all trying to grow our networks and get more presence. So one of the things that you can do to be a friend to your fellow marketer, fellow business person, like, share, subscribe, doesn't cost you anything. Go and support your businesses. John Ralph says, are you also connecting to those people that just viewed your profile to increase your connections? I'm just going to say yes. I don't know if anybody else has a different take on, a contrary take on that, but I think we can just move on and say yes. Yes? I think so, right? So from the panel, unanimous decision, John. Yes, somebody just viewed your profile. You're able to see that probably through the premium version of LinkedIn, maybe not from the free version of LinkedIn for folks that might not know what he's talking about. But yes, somebody looks at your profile. They haven't connected with you. Take the opportunity, create that connection. They weren't brave enough to press the button. You be brave enough and push that button. All right. Seth has got another take on this. Creativity is king, design is queen. Okay, I like that. All right. George sharing his cards. Thanks, everybody. All right, so guys, we're going to award a free digital card to the people that brought the most people here. So tag the people that you brought into this conversation. We got another 10 minutes. I'm looking for some more questions here so we can really provide the value and the feedback specific to your business. I love JR adding to that, Glenn Rossi, right? Coffee is for closers, right? So listen, I saw Mario Armstrong, and just a shout out to the Clubhouse app. When I saw him present in the Event Planner Expo, that Mario Stewart and Erica Maurer, those are two great event professional marketing professionals. If you're not connected with them, you need to be. They're connected to a lot of the big names. They brought Gary Vee. I have a nice photo of hugging Barbara Corcoran from Shark Tank because of the blessing of their events. That is your network. You get a lot of access to people on Clubhouse. Mira Armstrong was on there. And one of the things that was really cool, so this goes to this coffee is for closers kind of thing. You can set rewards up for yourself to make sure you're motivated. So if your goal is to reach whatever number of connections, he has all these, he's a sneaker fiend. So when he comes live, he's got the sneakers behind him and all these, and they're special. And he's got a little note. He can wear these sneakers when he hits this goal. And he gives himself the permission to reach out to people. So he creates these video messages and he sends them off to Oprah, who doesn't know. He doesn't politic every day with Oprah. He's a big name on the networks, on TV, but he doesn't know Oprah. He sends a video message to her saying how he wants to partner. He's got his little pitch deck in there. So give yourself permission to reach out to those people that can be mentors, that can be accountability partners, that are above you in the social frame. I think several people mentioned on the job hunt, look at those companies that you want to be involved with, look for those mentors and people that can assist you in that area, connect with them, start finding out about the culture of the company, finds the ins and outs by having those conversations. Before you know it, you will be there. Go ahead, Steve. I know you wanted to jump into that.
Absolutely, yeah. And kind of piggyback off what you're saying there. You know, I'm in the middle of reading a book, listening to a book called Who Not How. Great book. If you haven't checked it out, I highly recommend it. And, you know, I think we've all heard, right? It's not what you know, it's who you know, but this is a slightly different take on it. You know, it's about who, not about how. And, you know, what's great about social media and growing a big network, yes, you have exposure, potential for creating business, sure. But you also have the ability to collaborate, and you never know where things are ever going to go, right? So I connected with a guy, actually, quite frankly, at the moment, I'm not even remembering the name. Sean Lashley will remember. But he put me and Sean Lashley in touch with each other. And that just opened some incredible doors together. I remember, you know, my buddy, Rob Genovese, the Beast Brand guy, you know, he suggested I go to a networking meeting. And from that meeting, I met Cameron Toth. You know, I'm doing business with several people there because of that one connection. And so people in your network are so valuable. I highly recommend talk to as many as you can. Like Cameron says, tell your story. He's a big proponent of that. Tell your story. Hear their story. Tell your story, and see how you can add value. Because I use this expression all the time. Follow the rabbit hole. You never know when you connect with somebody where that can go. You just don't know. Who do they know? What do they know? It's amazing. So those are my thoughts here. I wanted to share with the group.
Beautiful. And I want to just ask this question because I know we got some people that are putting some marketing dollars into advertising. So I know we've been very much on the relationship marketing side, but I'd love to get some feedback for folks so they understand when the right time to start putting dollars behind advertising is. So while we think about that question and ruminate on that, I want to let people know we're going to award the 10K card in just a little under 7 minutes here, right? So make sure you're letting me know who you've invited and who showed up to this broadcast so we can reward that card to you. And then Lorraine, Lorraine's seeking that feedback. Thank you for that. And then how effective is LinkedIn as a platform if I'm in the tourism industry, like I'm selling our beach resort hotel? What is the right way to use this platform? Who wants to jump in on that for Coach RM Lobatan?
I don't want to dominate, but there's silence again. So here I go. Yeah. So listen, I think if you're going into LinkedIn or any platform trying to sell, you're going to have some challenges. You got to go in there with the idea of how can I add value and attract through adding value. So yeah, of course you could use it, but you got to be careful. You're not trying to push selling resorts or beach hotels or whatever it happens to be. Just go in there and share it and be a value, be a resource, and then business will come. So I think it can be a good platform, providing you're not just trying to be that salesperson.
Yeah, I agree. I think the relationship marketing is key on this. Find the folks that are the tourism influencers. Make sure you're connecting with all of those folks, and make sure that you are looking at what other people that are in tourism sales are doing. You'll find it.
Mm-hmm. That's what I was going to say, Cameron, about politely stalking your competition is completely and totally underrated. There's nothing wrong with seeing what they're doing, as long as you're not, straight up copying any of their content, and plagiarizing. I think one of the ways I grew my business and learned about social media was to see what other insurance agencies were doing on social media and how they were presenting their message. So especially with tourism. So I'm wishing you the best of luck on that, because I know that industry has been challenged in the last 10 months. So I'm thinking about you.
Beautiful. And I know Lorraine wanted to chime in as well. Go ahead.
Yeah, actually, it was actually all answered. And but one other thing I just want to add to it is I work with somebody who's in travel, and it has been tough, and always come, like I've been saying all time, from giving. There's always something you can even give when it comes to vacations and stuff. You can give, the 10 best destination places during COVID. 10 things you can do from stay at home. I mean, there's so many things that you can give. Come from the place of giving. And when it's time to book their vacation, they're going to say, hey, there was that girl that gave that checklist. That was awesome. I want to contact her. And I think that's the most important thing you can do.
Sorry, go ahead.
No, you're good. Go ahead, Linda.
I just want to say to Lorraine on that, because I know I said it in the beginning. I really do believe that going onto Google and searching the questions that people are looking for, that you can answer those questions or solve those problems, it is a game changer, because Google will put your question and then all the other questions that are similar in that realm. And that's just, you're right there. You got weekly content, monthly content, boom, with what people are already asking and looking for and needing.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm going to say once again, let me know who you brought into the chat so we can award that 10K digital card. I want to shout out, because she's been providing some great information in the chat as well. I want to shout out Martina, Coach RM Labadan. LinkedIn is a good platform for your tourism business. You can also be on Instagram as well. And I think the real key takeaway there is you can see what people are doing across platforms. And one of the things that you can do on LinkedIn, which I don't know if everybody knows about, but you can go to each LinkedIn post. There's 3 little dots up in the right-hand corner of that post. You can grab the link to that post and drop it into the comments on Instagram, and drop it into the comments on TikTok, and drop it into the comments on Facebook. Why the comments? Because it's not native on that app, so you'll get some reach taken away. But if it's dropped into the comments, it usually doesn't take the reach away, but that will drive the comments to your LinkedIn post. And LinkedIn likes nothing more then comments and interaction on the post. They will project it out to your second and third level contacts. And that is how you grow your network. We've been telling you why to grow your network. That is how you grow your network. Go to it. Let's get it done. Put those links. If you got the 10K card, put that link to that great post that's already got some fire behind it. Make sure that's top of line on your 10K card so people are checking that out, and make sure that your call to action is there. Please comment on this. Please share this. Let people know what you want them to do. They are a lot more likely to do it. Give value, do stuff that's not salesy, and then ask them to provide that value to others, just like we're going to ask you to like, share, put this out to your network so we have a big following on here, can get bigger and better, more value, more sponsors. Thank you to Sean K. Sean, I'm saying it all wrong. 10K Sean Lashley. Thank you so much for the cards. I know everyone's really excited about it. Sean, look into the comments here. I'm not seeing people tell me who they brought in. I know a couple people have, so help me out with that. I want to do some closing statements. We just got 1 minute here. So for my panelists, who do you want to connect with? Put it out into the air, and then we will just take a moment to do appreciation after that and close the show. So go around. We're going to start with Tyler. Let us know who you want to be connected with. Let's put it out there. And I know our audience and our panelists will put it out there and make it happen.
Cameron, I'm not sure that I'm able to comment in publicly. I think I only have access to private chat.
Yeah. That's we only can private chat in the StreamYard. You'd have to go to LinkedIn.
No, what I'm saying is put it out there. Who do you want to connect with? Who are the type of folks that you want in your network? That's what I'm telling. Sorry if I didn't say that clearly. My bad.
Gotcha. Okay. Well, for me, small business owners, that's what I specialize in. That's where I spend most of my time. But then also, I mean, any introduction is great. I'm always looking to connect with anybody. But great, centers of influence for me are who I always like to connect with: attorneys, CPAs, property casualty insurance people, realtors, mortgage brokers, all the core centers of influence. Always looking to connect with them.
Yeah, absolutely. All right. And then there's, we got one more question in here. So as we go around here, we can maybe just do a little chime in on Alan's question, add a little bit more value here. So Lorraine, go ahead.
Yeah. So my main platform is LinkedIn. So if anybody wants to learn more about LinkedIn or how I can help you with LinkedIn, feel free to connect with me. Just write that you came to this. I know about posts or write articles. Both of them are good. Because it's as long as it's really relevant content. So I personally think that both are good. So I think variety is great too. And just for everybody out there, this isn't Facebook, so no memes and foodie pictures.
All right, beautiful. I love it. All right, go ahead, Linda. You got to unmute.
I couldn't find my mouse. Okay. That always happens the one time when you think you got it together. So as far as who we can connect with, we have found some success. If you know chambers of commerce that are trying to deliver value to their membership with the second round of stimulus, we're happy to jump on to do a webinar. We're doing a webinar next Friday with the Danbury Chamber. So we have found a lot of value with groups online. We didn't talk about that, but we've had some tremendous success with groups so that you can provide value there. So any chambers or any groups that you think that need some advice on the stimulus, happy to jump on a Zoom.
Beautiful. Okay. Go ahead, Joanna.
Yeah, for me, it's very simple. I'm looking to connect with property managers, specifically ones that assist HOAs, condos, and co-ops. The new service that we're rolling out for 2021 saves communities about 70% on their security cost. So I'd like to be the conduit to teach them about what we offer.
Beautiful. All right. Go ahead, Mr. Master Connector.
Yeah, so I don't know if we're supposed to answer Alan's question, but yeah, I think video posts is the best, most effective versus articles are great, but not a lot of people, unless they're really intriguing, that people don't take the time. People are busy and they like quick stuff, that TikTok mentality, less than 2 minutes, whatever. But anyway, I'm looking, honestly, I'll connect with anyone, anyone that I can add value to. But ultimately, I'm looking to grow my speaking engagement business. So if you know of anybody who's looking for somebody who could inspire people, connect, to be a master connector as well, to get out of their shell, go from being shy introverted to be a master connector. I'd love to be able to speak. I think the millennial generation right now, or whatever, they don't like to be labeled, the 20-something generation, whatever, is hurting right now. And I love inspiring that group of people. So, but I'm looking to do a speaking engagement. So if anyone knows of any, forward it on to me. I'd appreciate it.
All right, and you guys know the deal with me. This is Cameron Toth. I am your host of Biz Dev Live. I go live every day at 11 a.m. We have amazing guests. These panelists, they don't know it yet, but they're getting invites from me so they can come on the show. Linda is coming on the show next week. I'm very excited to bring that value. So if you enjoyed what you heard today, you should jump in and dig in and enjoy the live interaction that we're going to create there. I have Biz Dev Live networking every Tuesday at 12 p.m. Eastern. I really encourage you to come, learn how to tell your story better, and connect with the amazing people that are telling their stories in that Zoom networking event as well. And then every Friday at 2 p.m. Eastern time, you already know what it is, Master Connection series with the Master Connector himself, Steve Spiro, and our amazing panelists. Thank you, everyone, for participating in this show today. Linda, do we have somebody? Yes. All right, here we go. Our winner today of the 10K cards is the one, the only, Maggie Carey. Sean, connect with her. Make sure she gets it. Make sure she gets connected, and then connect with the panelists because they all have digital cards coming to them. Guys, make sure that you are checking in with Mr. Sean Lashley. Get your digital card. It's going to change the way that you're doing things. And one of the things that is really good right now, because Clubhouse app on iOS systems is really, it's on fire. It's trending. You need to be on that platform if you are not taking advantage of the proximity and access to the wealthy and famous that are there right now on that platform. For folks that are looking to try to add to their influence, it's a social media land grab. Get on there, take advantage of the land grab opportunity, and the 10K cards, you can throw that link into your Instagram feed, and then that feeds to your LinkedIn, that feeds to your YouTube, that feeds to your Instagram. This is the way to do it, guys. Make sure you're taking advantage of this opportunity. Follow up with Mr. 10K, Sean Lashley, and get it done. We really appreciate you. This has been Why Grow a Big Network, part of the Master Connection Series number 6. Thank you so much, everyone, and we will see you next week. Steve, close it out for us.
Absolutely. Well, I appreciate everybody on here. And listen, our mission on this planet should be to spread the love, share the joy, be the light for the world. So love doing that. Love sharing with everybody, and just go out and do it. And as my good friend, A.B. Gabor says, crush it.
Beautiful. Thank you, everybody.